And we're starting the Hubcast in 3, 2, 1.
Are you an inbound marketer looking for the inside scoop on what's next? Are you ready to unlock HubSpot's full potential and yours? If so, you've come to the right place. The Hubcast is your leading resource for user-friendly HubSpot tips, expert insights and strategies, exclusive interviews with inbound's brightest minds, and the latest insider news. And now, here's your host, George B. Thomas.
All right, Hubcast listeners, viewers, can you believe it? This is the first video episode of the Hubcast, and I'm super excited because we're doing strategy, we're doing question of the week, we're doing tips and tricks, all sorts of things. But to kick this off, I have a special guest. That's right, in our strategy section, we're going to have special guests moving forward. And so, Angela, why don't you tell the folks who you are, what you do, and who you do it for?
All right. Thank you for that introduction. My name is Angela O'Dowd. What I do is marketing, and who I do it for is HubSpot. And I specifically work in the department that works with all of our HubSpot agency partners throughout the world.
Well, I can tell you, Hubcast viewers, Angela is a boss, and the partner program is amazing. But today, she has brought a little special treat for us. And so, Angela, why don't you let the audience know what it is we're going to talk about today?
So today, we're going to chat about what I like to call advanced marketing and from rep nurturing.
Very interesting. From rep nurturing. I think I know. I'm not sure I know, and maybe there are Hubcast listeners / viewers that are like, what? There might be others that are like, oh, yeah, we do that. So my first question is, what the heck is that?
Yep. So lead nurturing is probably the term that more people are familiar with. And so lead nurturing is obviously something we do in-house here at HubSpot for our sales team. And in 2017, one of the big things we implemented was we created a from rep nurturing strategy. So all of our automated lead nurturing actually came from a salesperson's name instead of coming from a marketer like myself.
Let's do this. Let's get a side by side so we can battle royale here with some questions. So first of all, now that we know what it is, talk to me about how we might actually achieve doing that inside of HubSpot.
Yep, definitely. So you can do this basically with contact properties. Now, in a really simple world, let's start at the simple world first and then move to a more complex use case. In a simple world, all of your leads in your HubSpot account might have a sales rep assigned to them. So they'll have an owner. So if everything's owned and it sort of matches up on a one-to-one basis, this is actually super easy to implement with personalization tokens. So essentially, instead of having nurturing come from a marketer and have a CTA to, let's say, an ebook or a landing page where they could fill out a form to contact sales, why don't you let them contact sales really easily through the email? So the email will actually come from that ultimate salesperson with a personalization token in sort of the from name and in the signature. And then the CTA, instead of going to a landing page, is actually a meeting link for that rep. So you can use the meetings tool. Every salesperson has their own unique URL, and you can put that in the email with a personalization token.
So let's unpack that for a second, because there's a ton in there. What you just said. First of all, can you talk to me about the importance of actually using the information of that rep and how it just adds an extreme level of like context and specificity around the actual, because here's the thing, like immediately you think of lead gen and or lead nurturing, you think of, well, it's just these emails that we send out and they're kind of these default things. And, at some point you might talk to Jim, but like, what if it's Jim the whole way, the whole process? Talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So for any marketers listening who have their names that go out on many emails, you know that you often get replies. And those replies are some of the most valuable leads to your sales team. They're also some of the leads that get followed up with the slowest because their reply is sitting in your inbox. So it's not getting rotated through this system to your sales team. It's actually waiting for you to realize you have a reply in your busy inbox and forward it to the right rep on your team after looking up who owns it or what territory it's in, etc. So the importance of having the email come from the rep is, one, you're building up the authority and the brand of the rep as this trusted source. And so the name that it's coming from is giving them helpful information, just like you were as a marketer. So one, you've got that trust. Two, if they reply, they're already talking to the person that they need to talk to. Sometimes people will reply to emails that came from me with a bunch of questions, and my reply would be, let me introduce you to my colleague. Well, it's a lot easier if you can just answer their questions and set up a call to meet with them.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things here. First of all, we're totally talking about personal brand and how inside of the companies, the rep should start to build that personal brand of thought leadership. And so when they've got those, 5, 6, 7 emails and the consumer has been educated around the way it has been Jimmy the whole time. Jimmy knows his stuff, or Bobby or Susie, whoever. It can be anybody, right? So I love the fact of like thought leadership and personal branding for the reps. The second piece of this that I think the Hubcast listeners need to really understand is the efficiency side of this. That like, look, you're a busy marketer. We understand that it's probably a good lead, maybe a great lead, maybe an awesome lead, but it's stuck in your inbox. And if you can't answer it in, 5 minutes or an hour or a day, it went from being an awesome lead to, well, they purchased somewhere else. So what are some other very interesting things that you think that companies might not know or should know about the rep actually being kind of the lead in this, Angela?
Well, I think one thing that I would caution everyone to think about before putting in place a strategy like this is, in the end, your reps are going to love this. You're doing some work for them. You're making them more efficient. But in the beginning, you need to be really careful how you roll this out and how you communicate it with your sales team. As a marketer, you might be really comfortable with the fact that thousands of people could be getting emails from your name with your face. The sales team, this will be new for them. And you need to build a level of trust so they're really comfortable with what's going out in their name. And so they're very aware of what is going out in their name.
If I don't do this, I'm a marketer and I'm like, I make assumptions and I'm like, nope, sales team's going to get pissed, not doing it. Like, what are the downfalls to this? What would you say to the marketer who immediately says, I can't do this, that might actually get them to be like, yes, you can actually do this?
Well, first I would say, if you're shying away from it because you think it sounds complicated, don't. HubSpot is a pretty complex business. We have salespeople in multiple segments who sell in multiple languages across multiple regions. And so we have a complicated back end, and we were able to make it work. So if you're worried it's too complicated, don't stress out. It's actually not that hard, and I can walk you through all the steps of how to get it done. And if you're worried that sales isn't going to be bought in, I would say there's some relationship building to do with the sales team there, because this will help them. And other companies are doing it. We're doing it. We're talking about it. This is the way that marketing is evolving. Sales and marketing are becoming closer aligned than they ever were before. And sales is becoming much more human and personalized than it has ever been before. So at a certain point, your competitors are going to be doing this. And so it's better to be early than to be late.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially for lunch. I'm just saying. No, I'm just kidding. Here's the thing. I will second what Angela has said. At Impact and at the sales line, historically, we have seen clients who can do this, who can pull off the strategy. It's amazing. It's nirvana. And it is one of the great steps to becoming a revenue team instead of just being a sales and marketing team and kind of bringing everybody together. Couple of things. Angela, give us any parting information that you think that we need to know about this strategy. And two, make sure you let us know how people can connect with you if they do have questions about this and want to take the next steps and become super advanced in their sales and marketing with HubSpot.
So my number one tip would be to name the strategy. At HubSpot, we call this auto prospector. The idea is that we're automatically prospecting on the behalf of a rep. The importance of naming it was that we could get internal buy-in and that there was a real mind shift around this being a change in the way we do lead nurturing, not just a tweak to an existing strategy. That helped us rally internal teams. That was really important. And it also gave us a way to reference if this nurturing was on or off for specific leads. So you can actually put a starting step in your lead nurturing workflow to say, turn the contact property auto prospector equals on. And when they exit the workflow, turn it off. So a rep can see at a glance, is this person currently enrolled in getting emails from me or are they not? So they know if they're kind of interrupting their own conversation. So that would be my big tip. In terms of contacting me, you can email me. My name is AODOWD@HubSpot.com. You can also find me on Twitter, Angie O'Dowd, but I'm honestly more likely to answer your email than a tweet.
Which is amazing because I'll answer your tweet before I answer your email. But here's the deal. If you are sitting there viewing this, listening to this, and your mind is blown, strap in because we still got the rest of the show. And I got to tell you, I am super excited that we are past the HubSpot strategy. Not because the strategy wasn't cool, because you know that strategy was cool, but now because this is one of the first video episodes, and it's one of the first episodes where I have a new co-host, and I can't wait to show you. Are you waiting? Are you waiting? Are you excited? Let me go ahead and show you the new co-host. Wait, something isn't right. That's Marcus Sheridan. No, that's not the co-host. Karina Duffy. Hey, how you doing today? Yeah, right. Let's go ahead and change this view so they can see both of us as we're recording this. So, first of all, I know you weren't expecting this, but I have a quick question for you because it is literally your first episode on the Hubcast, one of many. Karina, how do you feel right now?
My heart is pounding. I feel super excited.
Yeah.
I've been a Hubcast fan for a long time. So this is so much fun for me.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Like, here's the deal. What's fun too, to be able to say, Karina, is Hubcast viewers and Hubcast listeners. Like, if you're listening to this right now, because you're used to being a Hubcast listener, you need to know that you can go over to YouTube. There's a new channel. You're probably like, what is the new channel? Well, the new channel is go to impactbnd.com. You'll see this episode on the blog, and on that blog, you'll also see where you can watch this on YouTube if you want to moving forward. Oh, it's going to be exciting. So if you're listening, go watch. If you're watching and you can't watch, maybe listen. Anyway.
Yeah, and let us know how we look.
Yeah, you're looking good today. Looking good today. There's no hope for me on that. So don't tell me. Just tell Karina. Tell Karina she looks awesome. So let's go ahead and dive into this, Karina. I guess that you have some HubSpot updates for the community. What's happening in Hublandia this week?
Oh, we have HubSpot updates. There's a couple HubSpot Connect updates. We have a Ceros integration. So Ceros is a content editing tool that you can use with HubSpot to get creative with animations and interactive effects when designing content, gating or customizing content on landing pages, stylizing forms, and tracking your audience behavior using the Ceros analytics engine. With this integration, you can access HubSpot forms directly with the Ceros Design Studio and style the forms using custom CSS. This is really awesome. HubSpot forms can be a headache to get styled, especially if you're using things like out-of-the-box templates. So I'm really excited for this one. You can learn more about it in the show notes.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, people, I've had a chance to play with Ceros, and it is like, I mean, it's like After Effects for web design. And now that you can put HubSpot forms in there, it's really ridiculous. So what's next, Karina?
No.
Yext. I can't get over that name. Yext is a digital knowledge management company whose location scan tool shows companies how their location information appears in Google, Yelp, Facebook, and over 100 other apps, directories, and mapping services. With HubSpot, you can turn Yext scans into leads instantly. Marketers using the location scan tool will see who has used the tool, scan results, and contact information from leads, all within HubSpot, and can follow up to start the conversion process.
Absolutely. I don't know what's going to be next after that, but I will tell you that was fun. That part right there was fun.
Even just being able to see how your location information appears in all these different tools in one spot is actually huge, because this week, Impact realized that our address was wrong in MapQuest, which I didn't even know people were still using MapQuest. But apparently we've had some issues with people having the wrong address for us. And we realized that it's just our old address in MapQuest that people are seeing. So even just that.
Yeah. Hey, that was a gotcha for Zach and I. When we came to the Christmas party, we actually put in GPS Impact, and we had to make this call. We're lost. Can somebody help us? Because we're not seeing where we're supposed to be. So yeah, definitely get that updated. You guys know you should go to the show notes. You can learn more, because we're just giving you those micro pieces of these updates. There's a lot more you can be learning about those. Karina, you're new, video's new. I figured we might even want to throw in a new section, because it is just time of things that are new. So we've got a new section called Things That Make You Go, I'll tell you what, I love that song, by the way, which I might put some music to that song just so you can do an office dance for a little bit, because those are always good times. But Karina, I'm curious, and I'll explain why. And when I explain why, you maybe tell me your thoughts. I think Wistia, which by the way, I love Wistia. We've talked about, Marcus and I historically have talked about Wistia on the Hubcast a ton. We use Wistia. Did I say I love Wistia? I think I said I love Wistia.
I think George loves Wistia.
I do love Wistia. I also love Vidyard. But anyway, we're not talking about Vidyard today. I think Wistia might be in trouble. Or at least that's the signs that the internets are showing. Now, if you're an @Wistia employee and you're like, no, George B. Thomas, that's not right. Karina Duffy, that's not right. Then you should get a hold of us, because we can have you on the show. And you can tell us. We want to know. You can tell us what the real deal Holyfield is. But here's the thing. In the last 30 days, they have sunset Wistia Fest, which I'm super sad about. We need more video conferences, because everybody's out there preaching about how video is important, but they sunset Wistia Fest, which is okay. Then they sunset partner commissions. So you can partner with the program, but you ain't going to get paid, people. That's kind of oh, dang. And so it is what it is. And then I also got noticed that there were some certain people leaving, and it's what is going on now? No. Here's what
that is some serious sleuthing, George. This is deep stuff.
Yeah, you put these together, and it really is something that makes you go, But what are your thoughts?
I find this really, really interesting, because we're big fans of Wistia too. And I actually, as an account manager and working with clients day to day, I love Soapbox. When that came out, that changed my life. I have less client meetings because I can send videos where I'm sharing mock-ups and developed pages and wireframes, and we can go back and forth so much easier without having to get on a call every time. So in my mind, I was like, Wistia's killing it, right? But I saw that email about Wistia Fest, and we had people from Impact go to Wistia Fest last year and loved it. And I felt the same way when I saw these couple things. It was like,
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure. And it's one of those things that makes you feel a little uneasy, because I think a lot of us use Wistia. So, I don't know if there's some financial stuff going on with them, but it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of months if they're able to bounce back or what's going on here.
Yeah, here's the deal. And really what I want to say is it did make me go, I do love Soapbox as a HubSpot educator. Being able to send people videos versus like a 20-minute email is beautiful. I love Wistia. I love all the marketing tools that are in there. And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's like, I'm a little uneasy because I've put a lot of like, hey, this is a tool that I use a lot. So again, if you're an @Wistia employee and you're listening or viewing this,
hit us up.
Hit us up. Hit us up. You know who the community should hit up? They should hit up our sponsor. Yeah, that is the one, the only dreamdesigner.io. Man, this thing is incredible. You can go and make HubSpot landing pages, web pages. They have over 500 custom modules you can choose from. It's super comprehensive. It's just an amazing tool. You should hit the link in the show notes. You should learn more. Average price is like not that much money. It's just really ridiculous. I know if you've been listening to the Hubcast, we talked about them for the last, 3 weeks, other than the faux last Hubcast. Community, how many of you were like sort of ticked when you realized that it really wasn't the last one? Hopefully you'll forgive me. Anyway, had to do it.
I was pumped. I wasn't ticked.
Yeah. Hopefully, here's the thing. I had to do it because it was the last sales line one. This is the first impact one, which, hopefully we're making an impact. Yeah, that one wasn't good. All right. So, Karina, I have a question for you again. You did not know this was coming. But when you said you were a Hubcast listener historically, and we used to do this thing called HubSpot Tips and Tricks. And did you enjoy HubSpot Tips and Tricks?
I did enjoy HubSpot Tips and Tricks for the most part. Because I consider myself, I should say, a power user of HubSpot. Some of the tips and tricks weren't necessarily, new to me, but I did find value in them because I have so many clients that are Hubcast listeners, and a lot of our clients come to us fairly new to HubSpot. And they miss a lot of these little things that people like us kind of know inherently. And so I love like the little HubSpot tips and tricks that, I have moments almost every week with my clients where they ask me a question. I say, oh, you just click that button. And they're like, oh my gosh, this has changed everything.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Here's why I'm excited. We're bringing them back. And you might be like, but George, you've already created like 400 or 500 of those things. We're bringing them back. We're actually starting fresh. There's a new interface. There's new tools. And so just so everybody knows, our goal is to probably do about another 600 or 700 HubSpot tips and tricks. And the reason I'm super excited about this is one thing that I knew, sort of, hoping, guessing that Karina would say is, well, they weren't like for me because they weren't that advanced. And so we're going to do this time basic, intermediate, and advanced style HubSpot tips and tricks. So it is going to be for everybody. And also, if you're listening to this and you're an agency, your clients probably listen and they probably watch. And if they don't, you might want to save yourself some time and be like, hey, here's a tutorial that you can watch, because they show you how to do it. Or you can write a 20-minute email. It's totally up to you. But just know that HubSpot Tips and Tricks will be back next week. Oh, man, I've already been working on some fun stuff. It's been great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, on the show notes, there's probably going to be a video promo that you can also watch. Make sure you go over to the show notes. Question of the week. That's what's next. Karina, they got to see in this episode, the strategy changed. We interviewed Angela O'Dowd from HubSpot.
Man, she's awesome.
I don't think I could do that any more dramatic, by the way. That was like, anyway, she is awesome. She kicks butt. She takes names. My question is to you and then to the community, who would you like? Like if all of a sudden I emailed you and said, this is who we're interviewing, your mind would be blown. Do you have like maybe 1, 2, 3 people that you can think of that would be awesome? And community, what we want you to do is we want you to hit us up at George B. Thomas on the Twitters. Are you on the Twitters, Karina?
Oh, I'm on the Twitters.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We got to let the community know. Yeah, hit her up. So
at CG Duffy Designs.
Oh, snap. Because she knows how to do some designs, people. I've been told that, by the way. I don't know if you know I've been told that, but I was told, yeah, she can design some stuff.
Word on the street, I have an Illustrator Mastery certification. So
oh my goodness.
I can do some damage in Illustrator.
I love it. I love it. See, here's the thing. Y'all should be getting excited because you now realize, even though we're wrapping this baby up, that you have 2 really nerdy people that like to be creative, that like to do marketing. I'm just saying. Okay, so who would you like to see, Karina, that we could get on the Hubcast strategy section?
You know, I was thinking about this since you just sprung it on me here. And one, I think that I would, when I initially thought about it, I thought, you know, there's probably a million people that I could think of industry leaders. And I think it would be, you know, really cool to bring in somebody from Wistia.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear more. Maybe Dee Dee from Wistia, who was at Impact Live last year. She could be really fun to bring on here. But actually, I think what I would love in some of that is whoever we do bring in. What I sometimes love about some of these interviews is just getting little tidbits of the background of these people and just a little bit about how they got to where they are.
Oh, yeah.
I find that super intriguing and interesting, and I think it brings these people to life instead of them just being sort of a figurehead. And I think that there's a couple people at Impact that I'm thinking about that could have some really interesting kind of strategic insights for our listeners that I'd love to bring on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking HubSpot. I'm thinking Impact. I'm thinking Wistia. I'm thinking Vidyard. I'm thinking so many other companies. And I even hey, I should reach out to like Jay Bear or Mitch Joel or whoever. I wonder if Marcus Sheridan would be on our show.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either. But
I don't know if I like that guy.
Well, you did kind of throw him down on the floor when we get started, but that might explode the internet. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But really, community, this is for you. We want you to let us know, who would you like to see on the Hubcast in the strategy section? We also want to know, what other sections might you want to see? By the way, this is the first time you're going to hear this. Let us know in the comments below, because if you're watching this and you're watching it on the Impact website, hit those comments. I'm going to be looking at those bad boys like with eagle eyes.
Oh, yeah.
What next moves to make, because this show isn't about Karina. The show isn't about me. The show is truly about you, the Hubcast user. Hubcast. No, we don't make a software. The HubSpot user, which, by the way, on a side note, have you checked out 2 of our major Facebook groups yet? Impact Elite on Facebook and Hubmasters on Facebook. Again, we can't make this stuff up. It's all about you. We're building communities. We're building content because we want you to be the best sales, marketer, service person out there. Now, Karina, I'm going to end this show by asking you, how do you feel now?
Oh, today was a fairy tale, George. I feel great. And I just want to echo what you said. We really do want to hear from you. We want to know what you want to hear from us, and so that we can continue to make this show better and better. And we just love hearing from you guys. So please leave us comments, leave us reviews. We want to know what you think.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed and viewed another episode of the Hubcast where we talked about awesome strategy with reps and Ceros, and holy crap, talk about some new things, and there's some interesting things going on. Until next time, go out into the world and do that thing we call happy HubSpotting. Bam.
I thought you were going to say until next time.
Oh!